There's this one scientific paper that keeps me up at night. And it's not because the science is hard to understand. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's so simple even I can understand it. And the implications are terrifying. In 2029, radio telescopes in Chile and Antarctica intercepted a signal from deep space. It wasn't noise. It was structured, repeating, almost intelligent. There was no known source, no echo, no explanation. And since then, scientists have been left scratching their heads trying to figure out where it came from. If you like optimistic science and text stories, then make sure to subscribe for more. But for now, let us talk about this weird radio signal from deep space and how it keeps me up at night. Alright, let's start at the beginning. This all started in 2017 when researchers were sifting through data collected by the Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, or ANITA, looking for signals from deep space. ANITA is located at the Amundsen-Scott South Pole Station, which is also home to a large array of cosmic ray detectors used by physicists to study the fundamental particles that make up our universe. But it is also home to an 8-meter telescope dish that can be used to collect radio waves originating from deep space. Now normally, astronomers use large dishes like this to search for radio waves emitted by things like pulsars, black holes or quasars. But these objects tend to emit radio waves only for milliseconds at a time, and they do it randomly. So searching for them requires some serious computational power, and even then, you don't always find anything. That's why sometimes you'll hear astronomers refer to searches like this as listening to the universe. You never know what you might hear. But in 2019, researchers found something interesting. They discovered a repeating signal that appeared every 76 minutes like clockwork. The signal lasted around 40 minutes each time and was strong enough to be detected over 3,000 miles away on the other side of the globe. At first, the team thought they had stumbled upon something truly special. Maybe this was the signal of an extraterrestrial civilization attempting to contact us. Or maybe it was evidence of some as yet undiscovered physical phenomenon. But unfortunately, their excitement was short-lived. After further analysis, they discovered that the signal didn't actually originate from outer space at all. Instead, it was coming from a satellite passing overhead. To be fair, this is still pretty cool. After all, this discovery required an international team of researchers combing through years of data collected by a telescope array in Antarctica. And not only did they discover an unusual repeating radio signal, but they were able to track it back to its source. But it gets better, because after learning that the signal wasn't coming from deep space, the team decided to continue searching anyway, just in case there was something else out there. And boy, were they glad that they did. In 2021, while combing through data collected in 2019, they found another signal. This one was similar to the previous one, except it lasted a whole hour and appeared exactly 18 times a day. Then 2 years later, in 2023, while sifting through data collected in 2022, they found another signal. This one was similar to the last, except it lasted for an hour and a half and appeared exactly 16 times a day. All three signals appear to originate from the same general direction, the Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt is a region of space that begins at the orbit of Neptune and extends all the way to Pluto. It's basically a giant donut of space rock surrounding our solar system. Now, don't get too excited. While Pluto is technically a dwarf planet, it's still pretty far away. The closest point in the Kuiper Belt is around 30 times further away than the Earth is from the Sun. And if that doesn't seem far enough, just consider that the Voyager 1 spacecraft, the most distant human-made object in space, is currently sitting at about 15 billion miles away. Meanwhile, the signal seems to be coming from somewhere within the Kuiper Belt. Now, there's a lot of stuff out there in the Kuiper Belt. Trillions and trillions of small rocky bodies, icy dwarf planets, and even rogue planets kicked out of other solar systems. But the sheer volume of space out there means that unless something is moving, the chances of something randomly appearing in your telescope are incredibly low. If you want to get a sense of just how unlikely this is, take a look at this image. These are the positions of all the known objects in the Kuiper Belt that could potentially be responsible for the signal. As you can see, it would take hundreds of thousands of years for any of these objects to move into the line of sight of the telescope. So this signal isn't coming from something that just happened to drift into view. It is coming from something that is either orbiting the Sun or is on a path that intersects with Earth's orbit every 76 or 18 or 16 minutes. So what is it? Is it aliens? Well, unfortunately, I have to say probably not. Unfortunately, The odds of an advanced alien civilization existing in our solar system are extremely high. There are billions of stars in the Milky Way, and at least one of those stars has produced a civilization capable of building spaceships and traveling to other star systems. But there are also a few reasons that make it unlikely that the signal is coming from an alien civilization. For one, the signal appears to be coming from inside the Kuiper Belt, not from near Earth. Second, the signal is only detectable from Earth during certain times of the year. And third, the signal is only a few hundred times stronger than the background noise. Signals from deep space tend to be much fainter than this. This all suggests that the source of the signal is actually relatively nearby. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's in our solar system, but it does mean that it is close enough that we should be able to detect it with current technology. So if it's not aliens, what is it? Well, astronomers haven't come up with a good answer yet, which is why this keeps me up at night. All they know is that the signal is about 100 times more complex than any natural radio wave ever recorded from the universe, and the rhythm of the signal makes it highly unlikely that it is coming from a natural source. It's almost as if someone or something is trying to contact us. To be clear, astronomers have considered all the obvious potential sources of this signal: satellites, pulsars, black holes, quasars, you name it. But none of these seem to be a good fit. For example, pulsars are known for emitting powerful bursts of energy every few seconds, but they tend to emit this energy in random directions. It's very unlikely that one would be pointed at Earth. Black holes and quasars are also ruled out because they tend to emit radio waves at a constant rate. This would produce a steady hum in our telescopes, not a repeating rhythmic signal. Meanwhile, satellites like the one that produced the first signal we detected don't produce signals anywhere near this complex. Now, to be fair, the idea that this signal is artificial in origin is purely speculative at this point. The data simply doesn't say anything about whether or not the source of the signal is natural or artificial. However, the fact that the signal has features that don't match any known natural phenomena in our universe is intriguing to say the least. Imagine if this signal had been around during the early days of radio, when humanity was still trying to figure out how the thing worked. It is entirely possible that humanity would have assumed that this signal was artificial in origin, long before we ever detected a single atom from outside the solar system. So who knows? Maybe we're not alone in the universe. Maybe this signal really is the first tentative message from an alien species. Maybe it's a greeting, a hello from a world we've yet to discover. Either way, I think it is safe to say that the universe is a pretty big place and there is a lot out there that we don't understand. Okay, so if you like this video, then I've got some more where that came from. In particular, check out my video on this guy who is trying to map the stars by shining a laser at them. It's seriously some next level stuff. And as always, if you want to learn more about the amazing science that happens at the South Pole, make sure to check out the website below. And thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.